Okay, so this is another gallbladder video that I'm gonna do for you guys. So this one is the pre-op pre-op information and for the cholecystectomy, which laparoscopic cholecystectomy, which is removing the gallbladder through your belly button, provided that you don't have any surgical complications that need your stomach to be cut up and down like a C-section almost. But I had the laparoscopic cholecystectomy done on December 21st. Yeah. Okay, so my story with that is that I had made some I was trying to make and I thought it was pretty good, but I was trying to make some homemade Olive Garden type stuff. So I used basic the little spiral noodles or whatever. The bagged chicken by I think it's by, I can't remember. But anyway, it's the good brand of chicken. I can't really think right now. I don't know why. But anyway, so I bought the pre-made bagged chicken. And I bought the 2 bags of that. And all I had to do with that was put it in I actually boiled the chicken, put several spices like Lowry's, pepper, salt, all kinds of different Italian seasoning. Trying to think what else I put in there. I put butter, carrots because I love carrots, some brown sugar, and a whole bottle of the Olive Garden vinaigrette, which is used to make the pasta dishes from Olive Garden. And they had their own little vinaigrette, and I poured the whole bottle into it because of the fact that I made a huge portion of it. So I figured that it would need, all the spice, and it would need all the Olive Garden sauce. And it was super good. I had 2 bowls, which I should probably have only eaten 1, but I ate 2. So I ate 2 bowls of that. And my guess is that the Olive Garden vinaigrette had a totally way too high fat content. I mean, considering I made a super big portion of the food, I figured that, using the whole bottle would flavor it up. It would be okay. And it would mix with I actually used 3 boxes of noodles. So I figured that it would need the whole bottle of vinaigrette. So I ate 2 bowls of that, and that was I think that day that was all I probably had to eat, besides maybe a Reese's candy bar or something simple like that. I don't know. But I ate 2 servings of that, and I ate that about 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. that night, and then at 4 a.m. I woke up in extreme pain that was radiating to my shoulder, of course, and in my stomach above my gallbladder, and above my liver, which is where the gallbladder is, and it was hurting really bad. It was burning. It was sharp pain. And the problem was I had too much fat on my stomach that the gallbladder could not, because whenever your gallbladder is bad, it runs so sluggish, and so that fat just builds up in your stomach and can make you sick, and can put can pop those gallstones out into your bile ducts. And so, needless to say, that's what happened. I tried several positions. I tried 6 shots of the apple cider vinegar. I don't think I took any over-the-counter medication, but because normally I don't. I just use the vinegar. So I knew that it wasn't a mild attack this time. It was pretty bad. And I thought that, I could just go to the hospital and get my normal dose of the morphine and it would go away and I could go home and be fine. But I started vomiting, like 2 or 3 times. And, that was all of the fatty, vinaigrette coming out and, that was not being processed by my gallbladder because there was a stone blocking the duct, which could not lead the fatty, the fat content in my stomach was being blocked by the stone stuck in the duct and could not get to my gallbladder to then go to my liver, be filtered out, and then the rest of the human body process. So, as I said, I tried different positions. I tried everything I possibly could to stay out of the hospital because I don't like hospitals. Contrary to what a lot of people have called me hypochondriacs in the past because, which hopefully, with this MRI I'm having Friday might explain some of those symptoms, but I don't believe I was a hypochondriac when I was having real symptoms. My anxiety is, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's okay and manageable, but in the past 2 years, I haven't went to the emergency room unless I was having a major incident, like, I cut my finger, but 2 of my fingers. One of my fingers needed like 12 stitches. I still don't have any feeling in it. I would go for things like a severe UTI. I remember, let's see, what else did I go to the ER for? Gallbladder attacks, of course. A miscarriage that a lot of people don't know about and would probably shame me for, but I really don't care. That was my baby. He would be, let's see, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, July. He would have been born in July, so he would be July, August, September, October, November, December. He would be going on 7 months now. And so anyway, but the point is, I had to go then because I was having a miscarriage, There were things that I had to go to the hospital for that, I couldn't just not go, because I'm not the type of person that's going to run to the emergency room unless I feel like I really need to. At one point, I probably did have some chest pain that I went to get checked out. I'm sure I did, maybe once or twice. But my ER visits for the past 5 years were like maybe 20 a year, sometimes 50, maybe even 50 a year. I don't know. Went quite a bit. But in the past 2 years, I've only been probably maybe 13 to 15 times. And I'm just going to say 13 to 15 because I did have to go a few times for the miscarriage. I did have to go a few times for UTI. I did have to go a few times for gallbladder attacks and and the finger. I had to go, get stitches. I had to go get them taken out, things like that. But those are emergencies. Those are not, so I've had like way less symptoms than I used to, which is amazing. So anyway, back to the gallbladder. I drove myself to the emergency room, and I like to go to Mount Holly because, sorry, Kings Mountain, I don't like you. Sorry, Gastonia, I definitely don't like you. Except, it's not just that it's the hospital as a whole. It's the staff. It's some of the doctors, some of the nurses. Some of them are amazing. Some of them suck. And all it takes is one bad apple. But, I know that hospital has let people die. So. And I don't care. That's not slanderment. That's, just me telling you the truth. That's facts. And if you don't believe that, go read the reviews on the page. It's whatever. But anyway, so, point is, I went to Mount Holly Hospital, and I had to drive myself there. Well, I didn't have to drive myself there. I just chose to. And I was in extreme pain the whole way there. My back was killing me. I felt like I was going to throw up. The radiating pain from my liver, my gallbladder, my shoulder, just extreme pain, I knew this time that it was pretty bad because it was like the worst gallbladder attack I'd had yet. It was totally bad. So I drove to Mount Holly, and that was like a 20-minute drive because I don't take the interstate. I don't like the interstate. Oh well, get over it. And so I go to Mount Holly Hospital, and they immediately take me to a room, which was excellent because that's one of the reasons I love them, because they always get me back pretty fast. And so I got there, and they gave me Zofran for my nausea because I was still vomiting when I was there. And then, of course, I had to use the restroom. Number one. Number two, I had to do the urine collection sample. They did an IV of antibiotics pre-surgery. They did Zofran, like I said, for nausea, and one shot of the morphine. And after 2 hours, see, normally the morphine works, the one shot, and I can go home. And the ultrasound revealed that I did have a stone block in my duct. And so 2 hours later, the morphine wore off, and I was still in severe pain. It was getting worse. So I had another shot of morphine. And that's when I knew that this pain wasn't going to go away. That stone was stuck, and it needed to come out, or else it would have caused pancreatitis, gallbladder rupture, or, several different other things that could go wrong. So I stayed there a little bit, and they decided to transfer me. They waited on a room to get ready at Gastonia Memorial or Caramont Regional Medical Center, whatever they want to call themselves. To me, they're still Gastonia Memorial. Just because their name changed doesn't mean that they're any better, but whatever. So anyway, so I go by ambulance. Well, not ambulance, but the transport van. They take me to the hospital in Gastonia, and there I was put into a room, and they kept me pretty comfortable at that point, but I was a little woozy. I was a little out of my mind because I just had 2 shots of morphine, not including the morphine they gave me when I got to Gastonia Memorial, more IV fluids, just so many different medications. I wasn't allowed to drink anything, although I did sneak a sip of my Sundrop a couple times, and I don't care because I was thirsty. But I was so hungry. I was super hungry. I couldn't eat anything. And they kept asking me, did I want a nicotine patch or whatever, because they knew I smoked, and I was like, no, I'm good. So that was all in one day, and my surgery was scheduled for 6 p.m., and I finally was able to sleep and rest without pain, finally. And they decided to come wake me up at 5 p.m. and tell me that my surgery was now, we gotta go now. And I was told it was scheduled for 6. And I had told my boyfriend to wake me up, at 5:30 so that I could call my kids, video chat with them. That's something very important to me because I have a fear of being put to sleep. So I wanted to video chat my children and tell them I love them and be able to see them, because you never know what could happen. So anyway, so they're rushing me, totally rushing me. They're already grabbing my IV, doing all this and that. And I'm like, can I please call my kids real quick? And they're like, no, we don't have time for this. Okay, but you told me my surgery would be at 6 and it's 5. Give me a minute. You know what I mean? Seriously. And she's like, they were being really rude. They made fun of me over something that I'm not going to talk about right now, but it was very hurtful. And so it put me in a bad mood, needless to say. But contrary to what they told me, I did call my children, and I was able to speak with them because I don't care. you're not going to tell me I'm not calling my kids. I'm calling them, period. So I did. Was able to do that and give my boyfriend big hugs because I was scared. And then when I got down to the pre-op room, I was beside, people that were, one guy was I guess recovering. There was an elderly man beside me who looked super scared. I don't know if he had just got out of surgery, if he was going into surgery. But he was beside me, and I was just upset. I was crying because I'm freaking scared. I've never had surgery as an adult. I had my adenoids removed when I was 5. which was out of my control. And I still remember that surgery to this day. I remember me being put to sleep. I remember waking up. I remember the whole day. I remember the next day, my throat being super sore, eating popsicles my granny gave me. So, I was scared. So I called my ex-father-in-law or father-in-law, and I was, telling him, and I was messaging people and telling them, what I wanted to happen in case something happened to me. Because I was that scared. I was like, I want my mom. My mom wouldn't call me. I don't know where she was at. I don't know. I guess she had her own things going on, whatever. But I wanted to talk to my mom. But the lady that was kind of being rude to me, she started being nice to me. She held me. She gave me a hug. She reassured me. She was being very sweet. She was being very motherly, and it just made me feel like very at ease. I was still crying when the surgeon came up. And he was very sick. He said he inhaled some kind of dust. I don't know. But his nose was so red, and he was sneezing, and he looked very sick. It really freaked me out. But he comes up to me and tells me, well, there are other patients here. You're being very rude. You're this and that. You just seems too upset. We're just not going to do that. We're not going to do this today. Okay? And you can go home and your gallbladder can rupture or whatever, but we're not going to do this. And that's how I was being treated. And I straight looked at him and I was like, dude, okay, my life is going to be in your hands, and you're talking to me like this? Excuse me? Come again? Could you, give me a minute to freaking collect my thoughts and get my shit together so that I can, understand a little bit here? So he walks off, and I have two nurses reassuring me. They were very kind and gentle and nice with me. They did give me the paperwork that stated that I could die. And that freaked me out even more, but I signed it. And, they talked to the surgeon, told him that I had decided to go through with it. And, so he, he comes over. He's like, we're going to do this. I was like, yeah, just, please, if something happens, do everything to get me back. And they were like, well, that's our job. I was like, okay. So then they told me they were giving me they asked me that I want some, they called it Dilaudid or whatever, but it's called Dilaudid. And that's a very strong, powerful drug that in the 80s was a street drug that people were addicted to. And I was very scared to take that, but they told me that I should, so I did. And then they told me that they were administering a liquid Valium or liquid Ativan to calm my nerves into my IV. And that I should start feeling calm and relaxed. And I did. Then, I'm kind of going in and out of it. And then I remember them putting the mask over my face. So when they put the mask over my face, I remember both nurses smooshing like this mask on my face. And my hearing started going out. And I heard the ringing noises and stuff. And the last thing I said was, you don't have to smush so hard. Why are y'all both, with both of your hands, smashing like this, like you're going to smother me? Why are you smashing this mask on me when you could have easily just put it on my face and counted me backwards and let me go out on my own, But anyway, so I guess I had the surgery, which was the... like I said, it's called a, oh my God, where's my brain? It's a, cholecystectomy. Oh my God, total brain is it's called a laparoscopic cholecystectomy. Okay. And it's supposed to be 4 incisions, okay? There's supposed to be one that's going to be in your belly button, which is, from my knowledge, where they normally remove the gallbladder. And the other 4, or that might be for the camera, the other 4 are where they take their little long tubes and their big metal tools to cut and, cauterize and stuff like that. But I have like an incision on my chest. I guess that's where they pulled my gallbladder out. And then I have 2 smaller incisions on my right side. So I'm kind of confused as to why a cholecystectomy is usually 4 incisions, but I have 4, 2 each on. I have 2 small holes on each side of my belly button. I have a hole in my belly button. I have 2 other holes on my right side of my stomach, and then I have the biggest incision on the top of my breastplate. The top of my rib cage, excuse me, which is my biggest incision. So anyway, so they go in there with the camera. They take their tools. They cut and they clip off. They use the clips and clip off your bile ducts and stuff like that. And they cut away the tissue. Then they burn the gallbladder off from the liver, and then they're supposed to clean it out. They're supposed to put something on your liver to help the healing process and stop bleeding and all that good stuff. Then they take their tools out, and they put the surgical glue on my incisions. When they take the gallbladder out, by the way, they put it inside of a bag while it's inside of your stomach, because they're using a camera that is on the screen they watch, and they're watching the screen the whole time that they're doing your surgery. So they put the gallbladder in a bag, and then they pull it out through one of your incisions. So yeah, but anyway, they put the surgical glue over my incisions, and my top incision has these, which I can feel, they're 2 little thin white clearish looking stitches. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to have those removed, because nobody even said that I had internal stitches or stitches. I was supposed to have surgical glue, but I can clearly feel the stitches. So at my post-op appointment, I'm going to ask about that. I'm not sure if they're supposed to dissolve or if I'm supposed to get those taken out or what. But anyway, so that is how they take the gallbladder out. And so I don't remember anything in the recovery room. I guess I was asleep the whole time. But I did wake up as soon as I was rolled back to my room. And I was happy to see that the person that I love was there to see me come out of the surgery. And I was able to lay down. But as soon as I woke up, I actually heard something when I was in the recovery room. I did wake up once, but I went right back out. I heard that I tackied out and bradyed out. Bradycardia is when your heart rate slows down too much. Tachycardia is when your heart rate goes way too high. So tackied out. Yeah, so that's pretty scary. But they were able to stop that, I guess, and fix that. And so when I got back to my room, I wanted a heart monitor, because when I got there, I was hooked up to a heart monitor. And, to hear that you just tackied out, I believe after surgery, you should be on a heart monitor, especially with a heart arrhythmia, as I do have. And I fought with them for like 4 hours to get this heart monitor, and finally they gave it to me, and I was able to rest and sleep. And at one point, it took me an hour to get a drink. It took me like 30, 45 minutes to get a Jello, things like that. But I was sleeping most of the time. The next morning, I woke up. They were trying to get me out of there before breakfast, and I was like, I want my breakfast. And they didn't really tell me what I could or couldn't eat. They didn't really give me the knowledge I needed. But they did bring the breakfast, which was like grits, bacon, eggs, and I'm just like, I just had my gallbladder took out. Should I really be eating this? So I took like a piece of the bacon. I wasn't really interested in the rest of it. I just wanted Jello and drink, so I did that. And I was on a bedpan for like 4 hours trying to pee. I could not pee at all. I'm not sure if that's from the anesthetic that maybe had numbed some of my nerves down there, but I couldn't pee. And I didn't pee until I got home like 3 hours after arriving home, I think is when I peed. So that was that part. And, I was driven home. The ride home was very bumpy and very hurtful. and any little light touch to the area would hurt. It still does hurt, you know, but it's getting better. But that was the, you know, pre-op, post-op surgery situation. And I'm going to do another video here in just a minute, which might be a little shorter, of the recovery process. And then maybe 6 months down the road, 1 year down the road, I'll do another and let you guys know how it is living without a gallbladder, and, you know, what's going on, what I can do, what I've figured out, you know. Not sure if I'll ever be normal again without it. I've heard that I'll feel like a brand new person, and hopefully that's true, because I have a lot of other things going on right now too that aren't making me feel any type of new at all. I kind of feel like super old. But anyway, so that's that. And so if you're coming over for surgery, I would suggest taking a pillow and holding it against your stomach under the seatbelt, because if you don't, it's gonna really, really hurt when you drive home or driven home. But anyway, that is the getting out of the hospital process, and all that. They also gave me antibiotics because I was diagnosed with the UTI at the other hospital, and they gave me antibiotics that broke my lips out. You can still see some of it. I took one and my lips broke out in blisters. My face turned red. It was pretty creepy, so I didn't take any more of those. But I did go back to the hospital, and they told me there that I did not have a UTI. So, and I don't have any UTI symptoms. So I'm not sure if I do or do not have a UTI, but at this point, I don't think so. I don't think that I do, because all my urinary tract infection testing was good, so I think I'm okay. But I have been getting low-grade fevers on and off since the surgery. When I left the hospital, my fever was like 100, which they said was normal after, you know, getting anesthesia and everything, which I was under a general anesthetic. So, but since being home, I have gotten low-grade fevers here and there, and I'm not sure what that's from. So, and I was coughing. When I first woke up from the surgery, I had immediately vomited. They were telling me I had to make myself vomit a little because I needed to, because like I felt I needed to, and they were like, "Don't do that," and I'm like, "No, I have to," and I vomited green bile. It was green, and my gallbladder did not rupture during surgery, so I don't understand why I vomited green bile. That was poison coming out of my body, and it was green. And inside of that was a huge red blood clot, okay? And they said it was normal after surgery, that it could be from the tube they put down my throat or whatever. My throat was sore just like a couple hours after surgery, but I didn't have a sore throat anytime after that. So, I don't know. But anyway, for the past for like a few days after I'd been coughing up blood, and I do think that I have like some kind of cold or sinus infection or bronchitis, because I haven't coughed up any blood today, but if I continue coughing up blood, I'm definitely going back to the emergency room. So, but yeah, that was my going home process, and that was my surgical process. All in all, that portion of it was not fun at all. But that is how I keep forgetting. Why do I keep forgetting? That is how a laparoscopic cholecystectomy is performed, and what you can expect afterwards. I kind of wish they would have kept me maybe an extra day just to check on me, you know. But my vitals were good whenever I left, so that was a good thing. But anyway, so next video is gonna be things you can do at home after surgery, the healing process, and then after I do that video, I will do a video of my post-op appointment and let you guys know how that went, what I was told there, and stuff like that. And then I also have my cervical cancer video, which I will download eventually, and I have a little 30-second video of the LEAP procedure that I had done. But that cancer was cut out, and I have no symptoms of, I have no cervical cancer cells now. I just have to repeat my pap smear in 1 year. So I will download my other video and put that on here for you guys as well. But right now, let's do the gallbladder, because right now I don't have cervical cancer. But I would still like to share with y'all my post-op appointment stuff this week with the LEAP procedure, and I will still share my video of before I found out my results, which were good, and that process as well. So I will do that. And again, well wishes into 2022. And next video coming up here in a minute is going to be shorter, but it's going to be about like the recovery process and things I would suggest that you do during the first week and all that good stuff. So, sign off for now, and I will be back in a minute. And that is for the, oh my God, this is like the 5th daggum time I've like forgot. That is for the laparoscopic cholecystectomy procedure. Pre-op, post-op, going home. Okay. And right now, I'm going to sign off to do the other video.